Welcome to Synagogues of New York, Part 23. This is our second segment looking at closed or former synagogue buildings in the borough of Brooklyn, the city of New York. We're looking at the former Chevra Torah Anshe Radishkowitz in a Brownsville section of Brooklyn. Near the current symbolical signage are Hebrew letters identifying the date of the completion of this building, and near the top is a Jewish star. The congregation is the result of a merger in 1922 of two previous synagogues. One was Anshe Radishkowitz from 1898, and the other was Chevra Torah, which began in 1899. And now we're in New Lots, another section where many Jews left the area. And this used to be the synagogue building for Dorshe Tov Anshe Nulat. The Jewish star still is prominently displayed near the top of the building. And the gated entrances on both sides of the building still have a Jewish star at its top. And here is the Glenwood Jewish Center, also known as the Lila Art Korf Talmud Torah, and it was in the Old Mill Basin area. The building is fenced in, but the name of the Talmud Torah or school still can be clearly read. Speaking of schools, this was the Hebrew School of Williamsburg, and its signage is still evident, hidden slightly behind the trees, just below the two narrow vertical windows. If our information is correct, that prior to this school becoming independent, it had one time been associated with Congregation Beth Jacob Ohev Shalom, although at that time it may have been called Congregation Beth Jacob Anshe Shalom, prior to merging with another synagogue. We're now in the East New York section of Brooklyn, and looking at the building that had once been called Chevra Sfard of Perry's Law. On the left side is the information about the synagogue in English, and on the right side its name in Hebrew. And in the middle is the ever-present Jewish star. Perry's Law is just an anglicized version of the place in the Ukraine. It was there called Pereyaslav, and landsmen came over in the late 1800s and the first couple of decades of the 1900s and settled in this area of East New York. The famous Yiddish writer Shalom Aleichem hailed from Pereyaslav. George Gershwin, the famous American composer, was born across the street, but the synagogue was not built until 1929, after he had already left the area. The only information we have on this building is that it was associated with independent Esras Achim, and it was in Brownsville. One can see the two lines above the signage and colored stained glass windows, which are carryover from its days of being a Jewish institutional building. Our final stop takes us to the Canarsie section of Brooklyn and what was once called Kevelson's Shul. One can clearly see the colorful Jewish star insignia, as well as the menorah and other symbols of a Jewish heritage in stained glass windows. Supposedly this building was erected in 1951 and that it closed as a Jewish synagogue in the 1990s. Its official name was Congregation Talmud Torah Ohev Shalom. It should also be noted that the front doors still have glass etchings representing the 12 tribes, and there are several doors adorned with Jewish stars. The announcement board still has the name of the synagogue, and a building connected on Avenue L has a sign for the Hebrew school. This concludes our second segment looking at closed synagogues in the Brooklyn area. More to come, so bye for now and see you soon.